Good morning, class 7. Welcome back. So, let's see what Opu does next. So, in the previous class, we have already studied that Opu found a book and filled with magic spells, and he wants to fly. So, he turned it back. The book was not opened for many years, and that is why there were swarm of silverfish around that book. And then what does Oppo find in that book? So coming to page number 12, we'll be starting from there. Oppo raised the book to his nose. He had a peculiar old smell. The pages were thick and dust colored, and he loved their smell. And so the book was getting old. It had a peculiar old smell in it, and the pages were already very thick, but it was dust colored, and he loved their smell. So he loved the smell of the pages. There was something about it which made him think of his father. It was the book in the damaged board cover which attracted him the most. What attracted? It was the book in the damaged board cover which attracted. So he hid it under his pillow. He read it when he was alone, and one day he came across an amazing statement. If somebody had told him about it, he would have been astonished. But this was not hearsay, it was in cold print. The writer was describing the properties of mercury. If you put some mercury in a vulture's egg, leave it out in the sun for few days, and then hold it in your mouth, you can fly high up in the sky. So the formula is written. So somebody had told him about it. He would have been astonished, but this was not hearsay. So there was something written in that book which, if told to Opu, then it would have been an astonishing thing, but it was not hearsay there. Okay, it was not rumored. It was in cold print. The writer was describing the properties of mercury. So what a mercury can do, mercury, mercury is filled in the thermometer. You can see that red in color which goes up and down, that is mercury. If you put some mercury in a vulture's egg, so there it is written the process. If you drop some mercury on vulture's eggs and leave it in the sun for a few days to dry it up, and then hold it in your mouth, then what? Then you will be able to fly. Popu could not believe his eyes. He read the passage again and again. He hid the book in his own broken box and went outside to think. So it made him so surprised that he went outside to think about it. So what does the book had said? He asked his sister, Didi, do you know where vultures build their nests? She did not know. One of the boys in the village said they build at the top of big trees in the open country. So one of the boys informed him that they build their nest at the top of big trees in the big country, in the open country. His mother was cross with him. Where have you been wandering in this heat? So when he returned back to his home, his mother asked him, "Where were you? Where were you wandering? कहाँ घूम घूम रहे हो इस दोपहर को इतने धूप में?" So he moved into his room and pretended to lie down. He opened the book. There it was. Astonishing. It was so easy to fly, and yet nobody knew about it. Excuse me. So he knew how the book is giving the solution of how to fly, and nobody knows it. So perhaps nobody had a copy of this book except his father. So he is trying to guess that nobody had this copy of this book which his father had. Or it might be that all this time nobody's eye had fallen on this particular place in the book, or nobody could have read this paragraph before. So he thrust his nose into the book again and smelt it. that same old smell. It never occurred to him to question the truth of what was written in such a book. There was no problem about mercury. He knew that mercury was used on the back of mirrors. There was a broken mirror in the house, and that he would be able to get some from there. The problem was where to get vulture's eggs from. So there was no problem in getting the mercury because he know it. He already had a mirror in his home, and from its back he can get the mercury. But the problem is where to get the vulture's eggs from. The cowherd boys used to tie their cattle to Hiru, the barber's jackfruit tree, and go into the village to get oil and tobacco. So, who was Hiru? Hiru was the jackfruit tree, the barber's jackfruit tree. And the cowherd used to tie their cattle onto that tree, and they used to go for their walks to bring oil, tobacco. Opun knew one of them. You go all over the countryside. Have you ever seen a vulture's nest? If you can get me some vulture's eggs, I'll give you 2 pieces, he told him. So he bribed the boy by saying that he bribed the cow herd boy and told him, "You go to the town. Can you bring me some vulture's eggs? I'll give you two among those." So a few days later, the cowherd boy turned up at the house. He produced 2 small black eggs from a bag in his waistband. "Look at what I have brought for you, sir," he said. So the cowherd boy had brought something for Opu, and it were 2 black eggs, 2 small black eggs. So till here for today. We'll start from page number 13 in the very next class. So I hope going slow will keep the suspense of the story, and will enhance you to know it more. So you can see it in the word wise. Mercury, a fast moving poisonous liquid metal. In ancient times, people believed that it could be turned into gold when it was combined with other metals. So people believed in other. There was an old belief. There was a hearsay. Hearsay means rumor about it, that when you mix mercury with any other metals, it would turn into gold. But it was all rumor. It was all wrong. So read till where I have read. We'll start from page number 13 in the very next class. Thank you. Bye bye.